Good afternoon, my people. Thank you for coming back to another Tony Montana video. I've been out and doing my thing, doing my work, and doing my dogs for a while, and also been a fan for a minute, just listening to Bulldog Brown and his Pro and Game Magazine Inc. If you want to see, I put up a video when I pointed out to all the information regarding his channel. He has some great content. A lot of it I haven't even listened to yet. It's just so much in content. So he does live for 3, 4, 5 hours, 6 hours. He's a beast. And he brings in people that historical people, people that were there, been there, done that type of people. He talks about historical information, historical facts, historical actions, things that happen. So it's good to know what happened, so you know why your dogs are the way they are. And a lot of it is just clearing out the gossip. And so anyway, I've been just been listening to this guy, and he has so much content. Like I said, a lot of times I can't even I don't have the time or the energy to listen to the whole thing, so I have to listen in parts. So anyway, if you go to his channel, enjoy the content, and perhaps catch one of his lives, and you could ask some questions, especially if he has an invite, somebody being interviewed that may be part of your dog's background, part of your dog's pedigree. So enjoy it. Anyway, in this video, I'm wanting to talk about something I was speaking to a couple of people, and I wanted to bring it into the channel, and this is regarding, and again, this is all historical, all make believe. I'm not condoning anything illegal. I'm not condoning anything that will violate the rights of a dog in the United States. I'm just talking about things that happen and the what ifs of things. Okay, we're not here to upload anything, but we do have this breed, and we do know and acknowledge that this breed came from dog fighting history, dog fighting lines, and there were dog fighters in the past of these dogs. So a lot of times we, as fanciers or bulldoggers or doggers, however you want to call yourself, but definitely don't call you a dog man. But unless you are, somebody gave you that title, not given. It has to be given, not taken by you. Anyway, that's a different story. That's a topic. But I was talking to a couple of guys, about historically speaking, about the difference between a role and a school session. Okay, I repeat it: the difference between a role and a school session. All right. Some people might think it's the same thing. Some think, but at least to me and a couple of the guys, there obviously was not a consensus. We were thinking that that it's two different things. The intent was for two different things. I might be, mind you, for anyone listening trying to catch me say something wrong, I do may forget to keep it in the past tense. Okay, so if I say something and it sounds like it's a present, it's not. It's really everything I'm talking about or I'm wanting to talk about is in past tense, even when I make the mistake and use verbs in the present tense or anything that may seem like it's today. Okay, so let's continue on. Anyway, we were talking about that back in the day, people were obviously schooling their dogs before they matched them. And also, there were other people that were rolling dogs. Some might consider that off the chain to some extent, OTCs, but to some extent. I would say that a person that is actually looking to school their dog, that dog is not, shouldn't be treated like you're rolling a dog. And it shouldn't have, again, past tense. We'll be doing this mistake over and over again. So again, even if I say present tense, say something present tense, it's really past tense. Okay, so people were rolling dogs and they just wanted to give them that time, see, and see what how they did. But when you're doing a schooling of your dog, you are actually choosing, or at least in the you chose rather, um, in the ideal world, you were choosing a dog that had a style that you wanted to have your dog get to know. Whatever style, head dog, ear dog, stifle dog, uh, chest dog, rough, hard mouth, whatever you could think of back in the day. And you were doing it with an intent of teaching a dog a certain thing. Always having the dog have a pleasurable experience. So we were doing a pleasurable experience, and at the same time bringing them new styles or new issues that they needed to understand and learn from. The intent of the schooling was never to frustrate a dog. The schooling was more again to teach them that it was a great, teach them that the styles, different things that they may find out there, and having them enjoy the activity. Now we're not the people that are saying, "Oh, you ask why you bring the bait dogs." That bait dogs really was an invention of the animal rights people. I don't know why they did that, because that just made it worse for the all the animals, because a lot of these young people took whatever you animal rights people said and believed it, and they started doing it. Okay, they started doing it. They were grabbing, idiots that were grabbing dogs, and because a lot of these misinformation was out there and was saying that to school a dog, you have to grab another dog, tape the mouth, tape the legs, tape the everything, and let the dog just attack it. And that was the schooling, and it's just so far from the truth. That's so far from the truth. But again, that's why I have this channel, and other people have their channels in order for them and us and I to tell the truth, tell how it was, not how you know crazy some people would like to that to be painted. So that about being taping dogs and this and that is not how things were done. That was just a way of animal rights groups to have gain more sympathy of their actions, or gain more sympathy for what they were trying to do. Was basically a lot of these organizations really were just aiming to kill the animal and eventually kill the breed. And at this point, they're actually are in the point of saying the American People Terrier is not a breed. It's a type. That's the way they're trying to kill it. Because if there's no breed, there's no genocide. Okay, and yes, there is an American People Terrier breed. Yes, there is a pit bull breed. There is one and only one. There is no pit bull type. That is an invention. And then anyway, I'm digressing. But again, going back to the schooling versus rolling, schooling versus rolling. And then with a roll, you are just giving. I guess at the time you were giving your dog some sort of action, some sort of still experience, but you weren't. You may even want to what they used to call, or they still call, stretch them out. You want them to leave them down. That may be the case for back in the day, and some. But when you're doing the schooling, you're not doing any of that. When you were doing that, you weren't doing any of that. I got to make sure that I remember to keep it in the past tense, because they might just grab that little piece of audio I might say and say, see, he's promoting this. I'm talking history here. So the rolling is really big difference from the schooling, because you're really just more giving the action, giving the experience, but you're not, you're willing to allow it to, really have pressure on him. It's kind of like almost like a game test, but not yet. You know what I mean? You might These rules might be out of ego, like, oh yeah, you got this, I got this, mine is better, blah blah blah. But instead of these guys going through the proper procedures of matching, back in the day again, matching weight, gender, and having X number of months, and they would just do it off the chain. And I mean, some people might take it and say, oh, off the chain win, and this and that, and off the chain champion. We got these silliness going on today about off the chain this champion. Or I haven't heard of a off the chain grand champion, but I'm sure I'm going to hear it. But these are silliness, and but again, I'm not critiquing what you do. I'm just saying a role is not a schooling. And if you had a dog and you let your dog be part of a schooling, even though your dog is not in school, you might understand why the person that schooling their dog might act a little different. May have acted a little different. These individuals may not want to pull their dogs out at that time. They may have not wanted to pull the dogs out or pick the dogs up at a certain time because they were schooling and didn't want the dog to learn to expect being pulled out when they were in a certain situation. Okay, obviously good for them, meaning they might have, again, they may have, in the history, they may have been in the neck, deep in the neck, and the other one say, hey, pull him out, pull him out, pull him out. And you may not want the dog to be pulled out right away because you wanted them to understand that's the good thing, not a bad thing. Again, this is just make believe. This is talking about history and what ifs. Okay, and nothing. We're not promoting anything. We're just talking about and just making believe from what used to happen back in the 70s or 80s, 60s. So when you're doing a role and your dog might be in the role, you might have to understand, again, in the past tense, if you were in the role, you had to understand that the other person may not want to do things your way right away because for them it's a schooling. Okay, so just let's leave it at that. Now, talking about obviously when you gather together, when you used to gather together for this this action of rolling versus schooling, maybe even if you used to do rolling, you have to be careful who you took with you because those individuals represent you as well. If you take them with you, they represent you. They used to represent you. And these individuals may not know what they should or should not do. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're, let's say, just rolling, let's make it easier. It's a roll. It used to be a roll, and you and the owner and handler brought 4 people, and the other person, it was the handler or owner, brought 4 people. Now, the people that are not the particulars, they're not the main individuals, meaning the owner, handler, breeder, perhaps. Those are the particulars, the main people that should be there. The rest of them need to be quiet. They should not be saying anything. They should not giving opinions. They should not be saying this or that because that in itself may confuse the other side in thinking that the person talking is one of the main individuals. Is one of the individuals that has a say on the dog, and more than likely they're not. They're not so if you're just an spectator, if you're just the audience, audience needs to be quiet. Your opinions don't matter. Your opinions don't come, are not here, are not welcome in a situation where you don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. Okay, so you need to be quiet, be polite, be thankful you're there, and leave it at that. Be thankful. Even if you're part of the pack, part of the kennel, part of the combine, however you want to call yourself, the group, when it comes down to that, when it used to come down to that, you needed to be quiet. You needed to, because you might confuse. You might say something that the owner or the handler is in agreement with, or doesn't want to do. Like, for example, oh, let's do it for longer. It's not up to you. Don't say anything. Keep it quiet. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you find some interest or interesting uh, keys or points for conversation, and I'll try to make another video soon. This is Tony Montana. Until next time.